Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big Gaucho's Stock Investing Show. Completely out of pocket to put money in your pocket. I'm Austin back again with just one boy today, unfortunately.
Yes, sir. What's up, Big Gaucho? It's your boy Big Gaucho Tyler. We back with another banger video. Let's go.
Yes, we are back in action. Unfortunately, Dave cannot join us here. It's finals week, and he's been taking it pretty hard. We found him passed out drunk on the floor of the library earlier today, so we decided to take him home and let him take a nap. So he's resting comfortably on his kitchen floor. We
Oh
we wish him a
yeah.
good recovery, and we left him a bucket, so he should be fine.
He'll be good. But with that being said, please like and subscribe. We love the support. Now let's get into the news.
Yes, sir. We're just going for it. And coming in hot at number one, this is the story that was kind of in the thumbnail. Not that it was exaggerated at all, but we got the U.S. Federal Reserve. They had a warning come out that the rising stock prices are a potential threat to the U.S. financial system. Ooh.
Ooh.
Basically, why this is happening is because they think that certain stock prices and precious metals are getting really overvalued, and this overvaluation could lead to a lower risk appetite for some investors. A lot of people might not be willing to accept such low returns at such high costs just because of, this very high inflation we're experiencing from all the money printing. So could lead to detrimental consequences. As of right now, there isn't an immediate concern, but it is showing for the future. So just a little something to be aware of. The Federal Reserve is usually pretty rosy when they talk about this stuff. Wouldn't you agree? So
Oh
it's kind
yeah.
of surprising.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually surprised when this news came out. Just recently, I think they denied what's it called, extending forbearance and all that, I believe, for the housing
Yeah.
market. So
Yep.
now a lot of evictions are going to be happening. And at the same time, yeah, you're right. Stocks are kind of going through the roof right now, and it might be time for it to, finally tip on over and calm down. But anything can happen. I'm surprised the Federal Reserve actually came out with this statement. So we'll see how it
I
goes.
am I am too. I mean, who's to say really? But Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, they did put out in their statement saying essentially if the interest rates go up, we're basically toast. Just because all of this borrowing and new purchasing and everybody's euphoria in the market really is just kind of balancing on these low interest rates. So if those go up at all, some of these changes could actually come into effect sooner than we'd be expecting.
Oh yeah, definitely. I hope they stay low, but at the same time, I think correction in the market is needed. And I mean, even for today's Dow Jones, like the Dow went up like 300 points, but all the stocks were really down, at least in my portfolio. So it's kind of interesting to see like what actual stocks are bringing the Dow Jones up. So a lot of questions, a lot of question marks, and I don't know. It's too crazy for me to even call.
Yep. Yeah, I would completely agree. I don't think anybody really knows the answer, but it will be interesting to see what happens. I think that it is a good warning just in general because with too much market euphoria, this is almost bound to happen in anyway. So, it's not like a lot of people didn't see it coming. I think a lot of people are just in denial about it, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's gonna happen. What comes up must come down at some point. So
Yep.
we'll see how long the Federal Reserve continues to print money. I mean, I'm assuming our government would still try to like come out with stimulus for the economy, but with printing of money also causes inflation. But I do disagree a little bit that with all this printing money, that precious metals are overvalued. I think it's priced at pretty much where it needs to be, especially with the trillions of dollars of debt that we acquired. So I've always been a bit advocate of this. Precious metals are definitely a buy in my book, always.
Mhm. Good for the heart and good for the pocket.
Yes, sir.
And Tyler's line of work is very good for that too. Well, I think we'll have to see what happens. I think we're definitely in for a little bit of a dip on something, but we got some other news coming in about a tech billionaire that pretty much everyone knows. As everybody probably knows, Bill Gates is getting a divorce from his wife, Melinda Gates, and part of that was he transferred 2.4 billion approximately in stocks to her as part of their divorce agreement. So this is interesting for a couple of reasons. One, you actually get to see a little bit of what Bill Gates is buying. So that's kind of interesting. So we have that a breakdown of that here. So there's about a 4.9% stake in Coca-Cola Femsa, which is a Coca-Cola bottling company. That was about 330 million, and about the same valuation for a company called Televisa, and that's 6.7%. Oh, sorry, there's a typo in there. And also about 1.9% of Canadian Railway Company, which is valued at about 1.55 billion. So big chunk there, and about 3.7% of Auto Nation, which is worth about $307 million. Canadian
Wow.
National Railway owns a lot of railway and auto related things as well. I was a little confused, but yeah. The Coca-Cola Femsa one is kind of interesting too. I was looking at that. It's actually a pretty reasonable price right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. So did Bill Gates just, come up with an agreement to transfer all these, or was it like Melinda kind of demanding these stocks? Do we know?
I have no idea. I'm sure they probably just agreed on something so they didn't have to, settle it in like a really long divorce proceedings.
Yeah, you're probably right because if she's asking for these stocks or if he's giving away these stocks, either A, if he's giving them away, he doesn't want to be a part of them anymore, so they might be bad, or B,
Yeah,
she really wants these stocks because they have a lot of growth potential and, are pretty stable and will be able to keep its integrity and value. So definitely pretty interesting that Bill Gates owns this wide variety of stocks. But yeah, you're right. The Coca-Cola Femsa is pretty interesting
mhm,
because they're a bottling company. So, as long as Coke is making their product, they will always have revenue coming in.
true. And the Coca-Cola and the Fanta that's made in Mexico, I think it tastes better too because it's the one with the real cane sugar. So,
Yes, it is.
personally, I think it'll be a popular product for a while. And they have the glass bottles too, so those can be recycled. So honestly, it's a better business model than the one they got here.
I agree. Yeah. And also you can get money back for all the bottles you give.
See, that's a win-win-win. But it will be interesting to check some of these out. I really want to look into that Coca-Cola bottler tomorrow because it's a lot cheaper than Coca-Cola stock too.
Oh yeah, you're definitely right. But I don't know, the Canadian National Railway was kind of looking interesting as well because, we've talked about a big merger way back when of two big railroads. I think it was like Pacific Railroad or something like that.
Hmm.
And they're money makers too. And I feel like
Union
Canadian National
Pacific, yeah,
Railway, yeah, can
yeah.
do it as well. So I mean, if he has his money in there, that has to say something for the company.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I'm just surprised they weren't talking about her getting Microsoft stock.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a given because she's kind of the ex-wife of the founder and CEO of Microsoft. You know how it goes.
Yeah,
That's a given.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he's not the CEO anymore, but I'm sure he still has a ton of stock.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. He's still a pretty solid majority shareholder of that.
Yeah, you better be. Well, at any rate, we'll get into some of those a little bit later. But for right now, we have the biggest winners, the biggest losers, and the sleepers. Whoo, we
Ooh.
hit that intro. Sheesh. All right, number one, we got the At Home Group Incorporated up 20.26%. It's a mega retailer for home furniture. It's kind of similar to a big box store like Ashley Furniture, or they're usually the size of a small Walmart.
Oh yeah, we have one near my house actually. It's like 10 minutes away in Phoenix. Honestly, it's a huge store. There used to be I think it was a Kmart there at the time, way back when. And then when I
Yeah.
saw it, it wasn't too busy. I went in one time. It was, pretty standard furniture stuff, a wide variety.
Mhm.
Pretty solid, but I don't know. I'm not too big of a fan to put my money into this stock.
Nah, not really. Me neither. I'm not sure why it's going up, honestly. I think everybody's
Mhm.
just realizing they're going to be cooped up inside for the summer, want to get everything done quick.
Yes.
But we also got Grayscale Litecoin Trust up 17.67%. They actually own over 30 billion US dollars worth of Litecoin, and they kind of manage it in a fund type and just have everybody pull their money together and buy Litecoin. Pretty simple concept. And altcoins are going crazy right now.
This actually has a lot of upside to it. I am a personal investor of Litecoin. I've actually bought into it at around $84 and $130. Now it's
Dang.
at about $350. So with that being said, I think Litecoin is kind of like the silver of Bitcoin in a sense. It's not as expensive, and there's a little bit more of a circulation supply, but it's been around for a while. It has a lot of upside to it, and I make this one my big ultra buy of the day. So definitely look into Grayscale Litecoin Trust, or just buy Litecoin itself, because altcoins and crypto are taking over right now. So keep an eye out on that.
Yep, make sure you check those out. They can get some good buys on the crypto right now. And you can also get a good buy on some big losers because we got some equity in there too.
Ooh.
Yeah. Number one, we got Rocket Mortgage down 16.62%. It's a mortgage company and it's owned by Rocket Companies. That's the stock, that's their parent company. So pretty self-explanatory. It's like ding ding that you always hear on like sports commercials. I can't do it right, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah,
Eh,
I agree. I feel like it's a bit undervalued because if there's a lot of evictions, there might be a lot of people trying to like scatter and get a house, so they might just hit up Rocket Mortgages.
Could be. They just IPO'd last year, so a lot of room to grow.
Oh yeah.
And number two, we got one that's close to the valley. We got Grand Canyon Education Incorporated, LOPE. If you don't know, that's their mascot, but they're down 16.03%, unfortunately. This is a private Christian university in Phoenix, Arizona that's been growing really rapidly actually in the last few years. It's been cool to see their progress, honestly, and expanding their campus. But they also create education software for a lot of colleges and universities across the US. So it's where they also get a big revenue stream from. And they have a ton of online students.
Ooh. I mean, I'm all for Arizona things, but we're alumni from ASU, so forks up for life. They're invest in
So,
ASU stock if they ever go public.
I can only imagine. But check them out. Might be some good potential, but also more potential in these sleepers that we promised we'd talk about. Sleep, sleep,
Sleep,
sleep,
sleep,
sleep,
sleep,
sleep,
sleep,
sleep, sleep.
sleep.
Boom. All right, number one. This is for Billy G. We got Microsoft coming in hot at number one. So make sure you check that out. See what's going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. City boys up.
hmm Yep. Yeah, that's true. That's the motto. And for number two, we got Coca-Cola Femsa. I don't know what all those other letters mean, but it's under the ticker KOF. Basically, Bill Gates seems like he knows what he's doing with these investments. Even if he didn't want it, like he still owns 4.9, like almost 5% of the company. So clearly they're doing something right. So figure I'll dump some money into them tomorrow and see what happens long term.
Oh, I respect it. Buy the dip.
Hey, I mean, I'll listen to a billionaire. I'll let him tell me what to do.
I agree.
hmm And number three, we got the Redfin Corporation. Everybody's buying houses, like Tyler was talking about earlier. It's very popular, even though these prices are astronomical. Interest rates are dirt cheap, and a lot of people do their research on Redfin and Zillow. So check out Redfin; their data is better.
Respect.
hmm Well, we also got to respect Anchor and give them their 30 seconds of fame for this episode. So we're gonna go ahead and do a quick ad read for them. Let's hit that ad.
Ooh.
Ooh. All right, you already know we hate Ruby Tuesday. We got no new additions to the bankruptcy boneyard, and I took the dub in the best possible way today. Nobody else played, so I just automatically won. So winning at 8:30, 2 hours after the market opens is pretty sweet. So it's hard to pat myself on the back for this one, honestly. But I'm going to go with uh I'm going to go with a slight dip tomorrow. I'm going to go with 34, 444.
I respect it. I mean, we're basically near 35,000, so I'm gonna go 35.
35 even?
Yeah, 35 even. I'm telling you, we're gonna break 40 by the end of this year, the way we're going.
Yeah, dude, we really could. This is getting crazy. But I mean, it's market was down like 300 points and then it bounced up the other day. So, we've seen crazier things happen.
Definitely.
But if we get Dave or Canal in somehow by the end of the show, we'll give them a shout out for their number. But we want to thank everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Leave us a voice message on anchor.fm/gauchos or biggauchos.com if you want to send us an investing tip. We might play on the show. Tyler, do it.
All right, Big Gauchos, quick disclaimer because we love disclaimers. Everything said on this podcast is our opinions from our experience. We are not licensed brokers. So please, please, please do due diligence and invest safely, Big Gauchos, because we are not liable for any lost gains. And we are directly liable for all you already know, major gains. And please like and subscribe. We're growing every day because of y'all. We're about to break 200 subs. And check out our Instagram at Big Gauchos. We post pretty often, some funny clips, bloopers, and news on what is going on in the market. Now, Austin, let the viewers know our amazing podcasts.
Yeah, you already know. So if you're not listening to us on streaming service, you can take us on the go, and it's really convenient. We're on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Google, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Radio Public, Overcast, or you can add us to your own RSS feed anywhere you listen to podcasts. And make sure, especially if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, who's rating 1 to 5 stars. We do not accept anything less than 4.5 stars. Remember that, please. And leave us a good review. Tell us who your favorite Big Gaucho is, or something you learned on the show. Share that code with a friend. Tyler, anything else to add before we get out of here?
We're back, Big Gaucho. It's time to make some money.
Yep, week off, but we're back. Well, 2/3 of us. Good night from Arizona. Have a nice Monday. Peace.